In the last session, we have discussed an introduction to matrix multiplication. Therefore, today I will start from that point. First, we will see how we can identifying whether the matrices are confirmable for matrix multiplication. Suppose that we are having two matrices. We'll let matrix A and matrix B. We are having two matrices, and if you need to obtain the matrix multiplication, suppose that you need to obtain the matrix multiplication as A times B. Then if you need to obtain the matrix product AB, there is a condition which should be satisfied. And if you are having a matrix, we'll say this is our first matrix, which is having m into m rows and n number of columns. And if you are having matrix B having n number of rows and p number of columns, then we are checking for the condition. The condition is number of columns in first matrix should be equal to the number of rows in second matrix. Therefore, if you see on the example which I have taken, here we can see that n number of columns in first matrix and n number of rows in second matrix. It is because in our product A is the first matrix and B is the second matrix. Since this condition is satisfied, then we can say that the matrices are confirmable for matrix multiplication AB. Once you multiply these two matrices, then you will get the number of rows. You will get a matrix. We'll say it as matrix AB, which equals matrix C. Then you will get the answer as matrix C having m number of rows and p number of columns. But if you are going to perform this calculation in other way around, suppose that you are taking suppose your A and B are given as the above, but you are asked to find out whether it is possible to obtain the matrix product BA. If you are obtaining this matrix product in this form, here it would be n times P, then this A would be m times n. But if you consider or if you compare the number of columns in first matrix with the number of rows in second matrix, now you can see that P does not equals to m. Therefore, you can say that the matrix product BA does not exist. Therefore, we can say that the matrices are not confirmable for matrix product BA. Therefore, what we have discussed in the previous session as well, in algebra, what we know is if you are multiplying two numbers, then you can change the orders in this form. It is simply if you multiply this 2 with 3, and this would be equal to 3 multiplied with 2. But in the matrices, in generally matrix multiplication AB does not include matrix multiplication BA. But there are some special cases. It is quite like if B is having the inverse of this matrix, then in some situations we will get this equality. But for all other conditions or for all other situations, we are having this inequalities. Then we are saying that in generally we are having AB is not equal to BA. Now we will see an example how we can perform the matrix multiplication. Suppose that these are the two matrices I'm having. Here I have taken matrix A as Aij having m number of rows and n number of columns using the standard notations. I have used this. Therefore, if you need, you can expand this. Then you will get this matrix as A11. Here it is A12. Likewise, up to n number of columns are there, then this would be A1n, then A21, A22, likewise we are getting A2n. Then we can see that there are m number of rows, therefore we will get AM1, AM2, likewise AMn. Here we can see that this is a m by n matrix, and let matrix B then this would be equal to, here it is given as n by p matrix, then we can write down the elements as b11, here it is b12 up to b1p. It is because we are having p number of columns in this matrix, then b21, b22 up to b2p. Likewise, since we are having n number of rows in this matrix, we will get this as bn1, bn2, likewise bn3. Here this would be a n times p matrix. Now, if you need to obtain this matrix product, matrix AB, then first we need to check whether the matrices are conformable for matrix multiplication. Then we can check it in this way. Here we are having the order of the first matrix. It is m by n matrix. Then matrix B is having the order as n by p. Now, if you check for the number of columns in first matrix with number of rows in second matrix, now you can see that the condition satisfies. Therefore, you can say that the matrices are conformable for matrix product AB. Therefore, we'll get the resultant matrix having the order m by p. Once you perform this matrix calculation, then it can be obtained in this way. Therefore, the matrix multiplication AB can obtain using summation k goes from 1 to n, where 8 aik times bkj, where k goes from 1 to n. But here I have just used the notation, and now we will see how we can actually obtain these values. Therefore, no need to stick into the notation, but if you are familiar with the method that we need to use for the matrix multiplications, then it would be rather easy than using this notation. Suppose that the given example here, matrix A is given as, if I write it here, matrix A is given as A11, A12, A13, A21, A22 with A. If you find out the dimension of the matrix A, then you can see that this is a 2 by 3 matrix. We can see that there are 2 rows in the matrix and 3 columns in this matrix. Then if you let matrix B is another matrix you are having in the form of B11, it is B12, B13, B21, B22 with B23. Now you can see that this is a 3 by 3 matrix. If you're supposed to obtain the matrix product AB, then first we need to check whether the matrices are conformable for multiplication. Then you can say that matrix AB can be obtained as A times B. A is a matrix having 2 rows with 3 columns. Matrix B having 3 rows with 3 columns. Now if you see for the condition, you can see that number of columns in first matrix equal to number of rows in second matrix. Therefore, we can say that A and B are conformable for matrix product or matrix multiplication AB. Since the matrices are conformable for matrix product, now we can go for the calculation. Then we can write down the elements of the matrices in this form. Here we can say this is the matrix A. And the elements of matrix B. Now what we need to do is first we need to identify row and column. We'll start from first row. Always we are selecting row from the first column and column from the row from the first matrix and column from the second matrix. Here this is our matrix A and the lateral dimension matrix is matrix B. Then if you need to obtain the matrix product, in this form we can easily obtain the values. Here I will write it in this, I will write it here. I need to obtain the matrix product. What I need to do is first I have to select first row with first column. Therefore I am selecting first row. I will use another color to denote this. First I am selecting first row along with first column. Now I have to multiply each and every element of this row and column. If you multiply the elements in first row in the first matrix and first column in second matrix, then we can obtain the values in this form. First we are multiplying this A11 with B11. Then this results A11 B1. This has to be added to the second value set is it is A12 multiplied with B21. A12 is multiplied with B21. Then A13 has to be multiplied with B31. Now we have finished the multiplication of first row with first column. Multiplication of first row with first column gives us the value for the element in the first row, first column. Here we can see that we have obtained an element using the first row and the first column. Since we have finished the calculations using the first column, then we will move for the second column. If you move for the second column, then still we are in the first row, but we are moving to the second column now. Once you move to the second column and go for the multiplication of values, then we can see that first value multiplied with first value. Then this would be the element in first row, second column. It is because we have chosen the first row and the second column. Therefore, we will get this value. Here, this would be A11 with B12 plus A12 with B22 plus A13 with B. Now we have finished the multiplication of three elements. First element with first element, second with second, and third element with third element. Since we have finished the multiplication of all the elements in second column, then we have to move for the multiplication of first row with third column. Now we have to multiply first row with third column. Once you perform this calculation using the same concept, first element with first element. Here this would be A11 with B13, then A12 with B23 plus A13 with B. Now we have finished the first row and all the three columns. Since we have finished first row multiplication with all three columns, then we can move from the first row as well. Therefore, here we will move for the second row of the first matrix. Now we will move for the second row of the first matrix. Then same as previous, what we have to do is you have to multiply first row with the second row with first column. Then this multiplication gives us the values. Here we have to write it in the second row first column. It is because you are multiplying second row with first column. Then you will get value here as A21 with B11, A22 with B22, A23 with B31. This is B21. Then we have to move for the second column. Second column elements are B12, B22, and B32. Then we will get the values in this form. A21 multiplied with B12, then A22 multiplied with B22, A23 multiplied with B. Now we have finished the multiplication of second row with second column. Then we have to move for the third column. The elements in third column gives here this should be A21 multiplied with B13, then A22 multiplied with B23, then A23 multiplied with B. Likewise, you can perform the calculation, and this would be a 2 by 3 matrix. Just because you can see that there are two columns and two rows and three columns. Here you can see that the elements are in this form. Here we can see that first column, first element, first row, first column element, the element in first row, second column, first row, third column. Likewise, we can see the same number of columns in second row as well. Therefore, this is how we are performing the matrix multiplication. Here I have used the notations to perform this calculation. It is because once you are familiar with the notations, then this can be represented in this form. Here we can get the AB equals to summation of Aik into Bkj, where k goes from 1 to n. But we do not need to stick into this equation, just because we can manually perform this calculation easily. Since we are having notations, we have taken much more time on this calculation. But if you comes with the numeric values, we will be easily obtain these answers. And here also, if you perform this calculation to obtain the value for b times a, here you may identify that you may get a value which is differ from the answer you are getting. Therefore, that is why we can say that in generally we can say AB is not equal to BA. Now we will move for an example related to matrix multiplication. Here in the this note, it is given as matrix A is given as is 3 to 1 and 4, 5, and 6. Then the matrix B, here this is a 2 by 3 matrix. Matrix B is given 1, 2, and 0. Minus 1, 0, and 3, 3, 2, 1. Here you can see that this is a 3 by 3 matrix. Now you are asked to obtain the value for matrix AB. First of all, you need to check whether the matrices are conformable for matrix product AB. Then what you have to do is, first you need to identify the dimension of the matrix. Matrix A is a 2 by 3 matrix. Matrix B is a 3 by 3 matrix. Now you can see that number of columns in the first matrix is equal to number of rows in second matrix. Then we can say that the matrices A, B, A, and B are conformable for matrix multiplication. Here this is 2 by 3 matrix. Therefore, the resultant matrix should be a 2 by 3 matrix. Now we'll see how we can perform this calculation. The obtaining the dimension of resultant matrix is not a must, but just to have an idea what is the resultant matrix, we can use this step. But the only thing you need to check is whether the matrices are conformable for matrix product only. Then we will move for the obtaining the matrix product. We can write down the matrix A. It is 3, 2, and 1. 4, 5, and 6. Matrix B is given as 1, 2, 0, minus 1, 0, 3, 3, 2, 1. 2 by 3 matrix multiplied with 3 by 3 matrix. What we need to do is, I will write it here using another color, otherwise we may not able to visible it clearly. Okay, I will. If I write it here, the matrix multiplication AB, first we need to identify the first row of the first matrix multiplied with first column of the second matrix. Then what you can consider is this is the first this is the first row we have to consider for multiplication, and it is multiplied with first column of the second matrix. Now we can say that 3 multiplied with 1, 3 multiplied with 1 plus 2 multiplied with minus 1 is minus 2 plus 1 multiplied with 3. We have finished the multiplication of first row with first column. Then we have to still be in the first row, but we have to move for the second column. Once you move for the second column, then 3 multiplied with 2 will be 6. 2 multiplied with 0, then 1 multiplied with. Since you have finished the multiplication of first row elements with second column elements, we have to move to the third column of the second matrix. And the multiplication gives us the value 3 multiplied with 0, 2 multiplied with 3, 1 multiplied with 1. Now we have finished the third column as well. Since there is no more columns in the second matrix, we can move for the second row of the first column, first matrix. Second row of the first matrix. Once we move for the second row of the first matrix, this has to be again multiplied with the first column. Then you will get the value as 4 times 1. This has to be added to 5 times minus 1. And this has to be added to 6 times. Now we have finished the multiplication of second row with the first column. Then we have to move to the second column of the second matrix, or the matrix B. Then we can perform the multiplication. 4 times 2, 5 times 0, 6 times. Now we have to move for the third column of the matrix B. Once you select the third column of matrix B, multiplied with the second row of matrix A, then we'll get the values 4 into 0, 5 into 3, 6 into 5. Now we have multiplied all the rows in first matrix with the all the columns in the second matrix or in matrix B. Now if you perform this addition, then you will get 3 plus minus 2 plus 3, value given as 4, 6 plus 0 plus 2, 8, 0 plus 6 plus 5, 11, 4 plus 18 plus minus 5, this will become 17, 8 plus 0 plus 12, 0 plus 15 plus, this is a 2 by 3 matrix. Therefore, we can see that the matrix multiplication has given us a 2 by 3 here also. The check-in has confirmed these dimensions. Now we have obtained the matrix product AB in this form. This is how we are performing the matrix multiplication. In the previous sessions, I have mentioned that there is another technique for multiplication calling the scalar multiplication. In the scalar multiplication, what we have done was we have multiplied each and every element of the given matrix by the given scalar. But this concept is different from that. Here, what we have discussed was how to multiply two matrices, not a matrix with the scalar. Here we have discussed how to multiply any given two matrices which are confirmable for matrix multiplication. Now we will go for the, here there is another example given, exercise given. You can try for this by yourself. Here first you have to identify whether the matrix product, the matrices are confirmable for matrix product AB and BA. Then if it is possible, or if the matrices are confirmable, then you have to obtain the matrix product B, AB and BA. And in the second part of this exercise, you have to check whether the resultant matrix are equal or not. This can be, I hope that this can be done by yourselves as to practice, have a practice on matrix multiplication. The next concept I am going to discuss in this session is the obtaining the determinant of a square matrix. We are obtaining the determinants only for the square matrices. We are not going to discuss about the obtaining determinant for a rectangular array of numbers. Here we are just obtaining the determinant for square matrices. If you consider any given square matrix, it is associated with a real number. Then this real number is meant to be the determinant of the given matrix. Therefore, if you have given a square matrix, you are identifying or you are obtaining an equivalent real number associated with the given matrix, and it is said to be the determinant of the matrix. When you are going to find out the determinant of a matrix, for 2 by 2 matrix, there is a simple method we can discuss for obtaining the determinant of 2 by 2 matrix. And the general form of obtaining a determinant of for a matrix will be discussed for 3 by 3 matrices, and the higher the obtaining the determinant for higher order matrices will not be discussed under this session. Okay, first we will see how we can obtain the determinant for a 2 by 2 matrix. Suppose that you have given us 2 by 2 square matrix having the elements. We'll name our matrix A, having the elements A, B, C, and suppose that this is the matrix given for us, 2 by 2 matrix. To denote the determinant of this matrix, we can use the notation. This as determinant of A. We can use this notation, determinant of A, or else you can use this, it is called like modulus sign. Using inside the modular sign, you can write down the matrix. Then therefore, this can be also used as a notation for determinant of a given matrix. Then if you are using this notation, or else in this, this notation also we are using the same concept. Now what we can do is, inside this notation, instead of this matrix A, you can write down the elements of this matrix. Then we can write down the elements of this matrix as A, B, C, and D. Once you write down the elements, here we are not going to write down the order of the matrix. Here we are just writing down the elements of the matrix only. To obtain a determinant for 2 by 2 matrix, what we can simply do is we have to take the difference of the product of the diagonals. We have to take the difference of the product of the diagonal elements. It means that first we need to take the product of the main diagonal element, and then the quantity obtained for these diagonal elements will be subtracted from the initial ones. Then what we can obtain here is, once you multiply this A with D, this should be changed. You have to take this, it is AD minus BC. Means first you are taking the product of the main diagonal elements. Here this will be equals to AD, this minus B times C. Then this is called as the determinant of a matrix. Therefore, determinant of the given matrix A can be obtained by taking the difference of the products of the diagonal elements. Here it is given as determinant is the difference of products of the two diagonals of the matrix. Therefore, any given 2 by 2 matrix, you can apply this concept, but you cannot directly apply this concept if you are having a 3 by 3 matrix. Therefore, we will use another concept to obtain the determinant for a 3 by 3 matrix. Only for 2 by 2 matrices, you can directly apply this concept of obtaining determinant. Here another exercise is given. I am taking these three problems for the explaining about the calculation for determinant of a matrix. First I am taking the first question. It is for the matrix A, having the values 2, -3, 1 and 2. Suppose you are asked to find the determinant of matrix A. Then you can write down these elements of this matrix inside the notation. Then you will get this value as multiplication of the product of the diagonals. It is 2 by 2, value is 4, minus 1 into -3 is -3. 4 minus -3 gives the value as 4 plus 3 equals to 7. Therefore, determinant of matrix A is equal to 7. If I take the second exercise, matrix B is given as 2, 1, 4 and 2. Again 2 by 2 matrix. Now if you ask to obtain the determinant for matrix B, first you have to write down the elements inside the notation. 2, 1, 4 and 2. Then this would be equals to 2 times 2, 4 minus 4 times 1, 4. This equals to 0. The third one, matrix C is given as 0, 3 over 2, 2 and 4. This is also a 2 by 2 matrix. Then we can get the value for determinant of C, which equals to 0, 3 by 2, 2 and. Once you take the difference of the products of diagonals, 0 into 4, value is 0. Then 2 into, here you will get 2 into 3 over value 2 and 2 cancel out, then you will get this as 0 minus 3, value is minus 3. Here you can see that once you obtain the determinant for the matrix, according to the magnitude and the sign of the elements you are having, you are getting plus values, 0 and minus values. Therefore, a determinant of any matrix can be a number, it can be a positive value, it can be a negative value, as well as it can be have the value as 0 as well. But the next thing is some are just having a conflict idea regarding this notation. So in the modulus, we are taking the magnitude only, but this is just a notation, and this is used to calculate, or the concept has to be used to calculate the determinant of a matrix. No need to worry about the sign that you are using or the notation you are using here. What you have to keep in your mind, you are obtaining the determinant of 2 by 2 matrix by obtaining the difference of the products of the diagonal elements, and this value can be a positive value, it can be a 0 value, it can be a negative value as well. Now we will move for the how to obtain a determinant for a 3 by 3 matrix. How to obtain determinant for 3 by 3. First, I will explain obtaining determinant of 3 by 3 matrix using notations, and then I will discuss how we can apply it using the numeric values. Suppose that you have given a matrix, a 3 by 3 matrix having the notation as A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3. We will use this notation. It is because this will be easy for us for identifying the element. Otherwise, if I use all the values as A's and A11, Aij notation, this would be really, it would be somewhat a mess for us for understanding the concept. Therefore, I am using this concept, this format of notations to write down the elements given for matrix A, which is given as a 3 by 3 matrix. To identify the determinant of this matrix or 3 by 3 matrix, we can write it in this way. I will write down directly here. If I need to obtain the determinant of this matrix A, I can write this as this is equal to determinant of A, and first I can write down the elements inside the notation. It is A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3. Now what we need to do is first we need to identify or isolate the first element in here. We'll identify this element. First I am taking element in first row, first column. I'm taking the element in first row, first column. The identified element can be written here. Here I will take this element as A1. Then I have to cut down the row and column associated with this element. What I have to do is I have to cut down the row and column associated with this selected element. Since it is in the first row, I have to cut down the first row as well as I have to cut down the first column since it is in the first row, first column. Then we can see the remaining elements. We have already selected A1 and now we have cut down first row with first column. Then if you write down the remaining elements inside the modulus notation, what you can write down here is, here we can see that B2 is here, C2 is here, B3 and C. Now it is quite similar as obtaining determinant of 2 by 2 matrix. Actually, this is obtaining the determinant of 2 by 2 matrix. It is because you have cut down all the other elements and now the remaining elements are in the form of a 2 by 2 matrix. Then we have to write down, since we have finished the things with the remaining elements, now we have to move for the second element in first row. We have to move to the second element in first row. Second element in first row, and you have to follow the same procedure. The row and column associated with this element has to be cut off. As soon as we have identified the element in first row, second column, we have to write it here as B1. Then the remaining elements has to be write as, we cannot change their orders. We have to write them as in the accurate places as they appear in the initial matrix. First, we are having the value A2. Then next value is C2, A3 with C. These are the remaining elements. And at the final stage, I will tell you how we can connect these terms. Therefore, I will skip that for a while and I will move for the next element. If you are identifying the next element, then here we have to move for the first row, third column element. We can see that first row, third column element is C1. Then remaining elements has to be right inside this modulus notation. Prior to that, we have to cut off the row and column associated with this C1. Then the remaining elements can be written as A2, B2, A3 and C3. Now we have finished all the values, all the elements in the first row. Here we are selecting only the first row elements only. We are not going to worry about the elements in second row or the third row. Then what we can obtain here is, now we have obtained 3 terms and there are some calculation inside this obtaining the determinant of this 2 by 2 matrix, but we have to now pay our attention on how we can connect these terms into our expression. Then this is the general rule we are using. We are using first element as the plus and second element as minus and third element connected with plus sign. For first element connected with plus sign, second element connected with minus sign, and third element connected with again plus sign. Therefore, the pattern is plus, minus and plus. Therefore, using this pattern, you have to connect these terms into the calculation to our expression. Then what we can do is we can perform the calculation. Here we are having A1. Then the cross we have to take the difference of the products of the diagonal elements. Then this would be B2 with C3 minus B3 with C, minus B1 times A2 with C3 minus A3 with C2 is plus C1 times A2 with C3 minus here there is a mistake. This value should be not C3, it should be B3. It is because what we have taken here is we have cut off the first row with third column. Therefore, remaining elements are A2, B2, A3, B3. Then we can take this as A2 with B3 minus A3 with. Therefore, this is how we are obtaining the determinant for a 3 by 3 matrix. Here it is no need to remember this equation. What you need to do is you need to be familiar with the concept or how we are calculating determinant of a matrix. No need to memorize these equations. There is no point of memorizing the equations. The only thing what you need to do is you need to be familiar with how we can perform this calculation. Here I have used some notations to obtain the determinant of a matrix, and now I will move for discussing on how we can obtain the determinant for a given 3 by 3 matrix. Here there are 3 examples. I will discuss them one by one, and first I will take the first example. In the first example, matrix is given as matrix A, having the elements 5, 7 and 3, 4, 8 and 2, 4, 6 and a 3 by 3 matrix. Here you are asked to obtain the determinant of matrix A. First, what you need to do is you need to write down the elements inside the notation 5, 7 and 3, 4, 8 and 2, 4, 6 and 3. First, we need to isolate the first row, first column element. The value is 5. Then is the first row, first column element. Then we have to cut off the row and column associated with this value, row and column associated with this. Then remaining elements has to be right inside the modulus notation. Then this will be 8, 2, 6 and 3. This will be equal to 8, 2, 6 and 3. Then we have to move for the second column element, the element in the second column. Once you select the element in the second column, this would be equal to 7. And we have to cut off the row and column associated with this. We are cutting row and column associated with the selected value. And you have to write down the selected value here. Value is 7. Then remaining elements are 4, 2, 4 and 3. Then we have to move for the next set of elements, next value. The next value is still in the first row, but in the third column, and you have to cut off the first row with third column. Then the value here is 3. This is equal to 4, 8, 4 and 6. Now we have identified 3 terms, but we need to connect them. Then according to the sign pattern we are using, plus, minus and plus has to be used. Therefore, this should be plus, then minus here, then again plus here. Once you perform the calculation, you will get now it is 5 times 8 times 3, 24 minus 12, 7 times 4 times 3, 12 minus 4 times 2, 8 plus 3 times 4 times 6, 24 minus 4 times 8. Then this is equal to 5 times 12 minus 7 times 4 plus 3 times minus 6. This would be equal to 60 minus 28 minus 20. 60 minus 52, value will be equal to 8. This is the way how we can identify the determinant for a 3 by 3 matrix. And I will take the next example as well. But here I will just make a small change for the given problem. Since I need to discuss another technique what we are using here, I am using this as -2. Now we'll see how we can perform this calculation if it is given in this way. And if I write it here, matrix B is given as zero, -2 and 1, 3, -1 and 2, 4, 0 and 1. A 3 by 3 matrix. Then we need to obtain determinant for matrix B. What we need to do is first we have to write down the elements inside the notation. Then using the same concept, what we are going to do is first we have to select the element in first row, first column. We are having 0 here. Then cut down the row and column associated with that. And once you write down the values, it is 0 times -1, 2, 0 and 1. Then we have to move for the first row, second column. First row, second column value gives us -2, and once you cut off the row and column, then you will get the value as here. This value is -2. Better to write it inside the brackets. It is because once you apply the sign rule here, it would be somewhat complex otherwise. Then we'll have the values 3 and 2, 4 with 1. Then next set of values has to be used. First row, third column values. Then we have to cut off the first row and the third column. Then once we write down the values, then we will get this as 1, then 3 with -1, 4 with 0. Now we have finished the identification of the terms. Now we have to connect them. To connect these terms, what we have to do is we have to follow the procedure that we have discussed previously. First term should be connected with plus, second term should be connected with minus, third term should be connected with plus. This does not imply that you have to use the value which has given in the matrix. It is not. What you have to do is for whatever value given in the matrix, you have to connect it with another plus sign for the first term, minus for the second term, plus for the third term. Therefore, we can use this as +0, nothing changed. But here you have to use the minus sign. It is because the second term has to be connected with minus sign. Then this has to be connected with plus sign. Zero. Here this will be -1 into 1. -1, -2 times 0, 2 into 0. Here we can see that minus times -2, this gives us the value as +2. 3 times 1, minus 4 times 2, 8. This plus 1 times 3 times 0, minus 4 times -1. Then multiplication of any value with 0 gives us the value as 0. Then 2 into -5 plus 1 into, here we can see it is minus into -4. This gives the value as +4. 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. Then 1 times 4 is plus 4. This gives us the value as minus 6. Therefore, this is how we are performing, or how we are um, performing the calculation of determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. And this is all what I need to discuss for this session. And thank you all for participating with this session.